the Commissioner of our Customs and Border Protection.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for all the support that you've given us and the support you're showing our officers today and the comments that you just made. My name is Rodney Scott. I'm currently the Commissioner of United States Customs and Border Protection. But as I talk, I want you to remember that I was also the Chief of the United States Border Patrol until 2021. I want to really start by thanking the medical personnel here in New York City, at the hospital, the EMS workers, and even the guys behind me in blue that have shown tremendous support to our officer and to his family as well. We should not be here today. The reason these two assailants are inside the United States today is because of failed border policies by the Biden administration. I personally warned the Biden administration against their open border policies in 2021. I was ignored, and exactly what I predicted, many of us predicted, happened. Total chaos along the border. These two individuals, the two assailants, were released into the United States after being apprehended because of failed policies. President Trump stepped up and fixed those failed policies on January 20th of this year. With the support from Secretary Noem, we now have one of the most secure, we have the most secure border that I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. Much of that resolution was by fixing failed policies based on facts and evidence. Sanctuary city policies across this nation, and some of these, and even states in some cases, are failed policies. The facts and evidence are there in front of you. It's time for local leadership and state leadership to step up to the plate like President Trump did, acknowledge crime as crime, acknowledge the fact that there's no global information system where we can vet these people coming into the United States. We do not know who they are, and we have to have border security where we simply know and control who and what enters our country, just like we do our homes. This should not be political. I'm calling on all state and local leaders to step up to the plate, get rid of these sanctuary city laws, and simply enforce the laws on the books. Work with your federal agencies so that we can actually root out these criminals from our neighborhoods. Last but not least, I should have said this up front, thoughts and prayers for our officer and his family, and I would ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. Thank you for your time, but please remember this. This was 100% preventable. It was caused by bad policy, and it can be fixed with good policy. Thank you.
I visited the officer last night. Of course, he was heavily sedated, so I didn't have words with him, but I did talk to his family. They're devastated. It's just a shock to the soul when you walk in and see that young man laying there. Secretary said it, Rodney said it, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. Hard stop. I've been doing this since 1984. I've never seen a situation where I see it today. New York City, how many times do you want to see NYPD attacked by illegal alien criminals in the city? Now a federal officer. How many citizens in this city have been attacked by illegal aliens in this city? You see the polls. Everybody agrees we should be arresting public safety threat illegal aliens, but you got a city council here that locked us out of Rikers Island. Are you kidding me? So an illegal alien in Rikers Island we can't talk to. We don't have access to. That makes the city unsafe. Every sanctuary city is unsafe. I'll say it again. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I'm going to work very hard for Secretary Noem to keep President Trump's promise and his commitment several weeks ago that sanctuary cities are now our priority. We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Anything can happen on the street arrest. So what we're going to do, we'll have more agents in New York City to look for that bad guy. So sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want, more agents in the community and more agents in the work site. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of the county jail, then we'll arrest him in the community, and we'll arrest him in the jail. And when we arrest him in the community, if he's with others that are in the country illegally, they're coming too. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. President Trump is not going to tolerate it. And I'll work every day with Secretary Noem to make sure we get as many bad guys, illegal aliens out of this country that we can. And I want to say one more thing. I'm sick and tired of reading in the media every day how ICE is not doing what the Trump administration has promised, that we're not arresting criminals, that most of the people we arrested are not criminals. I look at the numbers every day. The numbers I looked at the other day, 130,000 arrests and 90,000 criminals. Do the math, that's 70%. And who are the others? Others are those who have final orders, who had due process at great taxpayer expense. A federal judge ordered them removed, so ICE's job is to remove them. Who are the rest of the people? National security threats. Under Secretary Noam's leadership, they've arrested several hundred Iranian nationals. National security threats. They may not have a criminal conviction, but they need to be detained. They need to be arrested and taken off the streets of this country. Then I read another story about how most people in ICE detention aren't criminals. Now the story is, how bad of a criminal they have to be. I saw a story the other day. Only 1% of the illegal aliens removed were murderers. Are you kidding me? Being in the country illegally is not illegal anymore? You got to commit a murder to be deported? If you look at ICE detention, I'll say it again. Look at detention. Who's in detention? I looked at the numbers this morning. A majority are criminals, a criminal history. Who are the rest? Final order cases, who a judge ordered removed. The others are expedited removal. By federal statute, demands they be detained. So for the media out there, let's try telling the truth about the men and women of ICE and the men and women of the Border Patrol. I wore that uniform. I was an ICE agent. These are the finest men and women in this country that put their lives on the line every day for this country. I buried Border Patrol agents. I buried ICE agents. Luckily, thank God, we're not burying one today. Enough. I love the men and women of ICE. I love the men and women of the Border Patrol. They're finally doing the job they took an oath to do, and they got a great leadership of Secretary Noam, who's going to enforce the law without apology. I appreciate your leadership. That's all.
Good morning. Diane Sabatino, Acting Executive Assistant Commissioner, Office of Field Operations. First, I certainly want to express my heartfelt thanks to Secretary Noam, Commissioner Scott, and Border Czar Homan for the incredible support they've demonstrated for the New York Field Office, Office of Field Operations the last couple of days. You know, it is a tragic scenario to get a phone call about an officer, any CBP, Customs and Border Protection employee that's injured in the line of duty. It was even more tragic, this individual off-duty. You know, they picked the wrong guy in this particular case, two assailants, you know, just a crime of opportunity. Unfortunately, and I apologize, I'm a bit overwhelmed. I saw the officer this morning, and having met him before and seeing how challenged our officers are in taking care of each other during this hard time. But just to get back to what I was saying, they picked the wrong individual to try to rob. And thank God, when we invest in our CBP officers, we invest in training, we invest in vigilance 24/7. Our officers and our agents stand watch 24/7 on the front line of the United States of America. And we'll take action, and we'll demonstrate that vigilance and dedication at any opportunity.
Morning, everyone. My name is Frank Russo. I'm the Director of Field Operations for U.S. Customs and Border Protection in the New York Field Office. We sit on a historical site. This building, One World Trade Center, sits on the very footprint of our old custom house. We were here from 1973 until 9/11. The memorial fountains that sit outside this window remind us of the attacks on 9/11. We have employees who were here for the first attack in 1993. They were here for the attack on 9/11, and they're back again. Our officer who was attacked on Saturday night embodies all the courage and resiliency of all our employees in CBP who are here in the New York Field Office. And our hearts are with him and his family as he recovers, and we ask that you all pray with us for his quick recovery. These acts, as the Secretary, Commissioner, Assistant Commissioner, Mr. Homan mentioned, should not have happened. And we need your help to make sure that they don't happen again. We thank you all for being here. I want to thank the Secretary, Border Czar Homan, Commissioner Scott, Assistant Commissioner Sabatino, and our partners at HSI and ERO for supporting us during these difficult times. Thank you.
again, we want to continue to lift up this family.